What's up everybody? Ben here at the Spirit of Running, and today we're talking about the Hoka Skyward X. Alright, so this shoe is going to weigh in at 11.3 ounces for the men, 9.2 ounces for women, has a 5mm drop, and retails for $225. Alright, let's get right into it. The outsole of this shoe has a really nice amount of rubber. I think that's going to add a lot of durability to the shoe. For me, this was definitely going to be a road running shoe only. If your preferred path is like a cinder trail, I don't think you're going to have an issue with this. But the stack height and the amount of cushion in this shoe, for me, precludes it from doing any real off-road running. If I'm looking at, a cross-country runner or somebody who's moving on and off of the road and maybe onto like uneven grass or uneven dirt, not going to be my favorite shoe for that. But I think for road running, the traction is solid and it's there. I think moving in and out of wet or dry conditions, you're going to do really well with this shoe. Okay, so the midsole on the Skyward X is going to be a little more complicated than a traditional running shoe. This one has a supercritical EVA lower half to the midsole. That supercritical EVA is regular EVA that's been exposed to an extra chemical process. And what I find is that the supercritical foams tend to be a little more durable, a little more bouncy than a traditional EVA. We get a little more spring out of it as well. What we're going to see in this shoe is that using that base layer of supercritical EVA, we're adding some stability to the shoe. A shoe with this much stack height, if we do it all with Pebax foam, I think it's going to be it would be really wobbly and potentially uncomfortable to run in. So what they've done is they put kind of that base layer, kind of exoskeleton of supercritical EVA, and then between the supercritical EVA and the top layer of Pebax foam, which gives us a really nice soft plush step-in feel, we have a carbon plate. It's a full-length carbon plate, but it's not a traditional carbon plate that we've seen in other running shoes. So this plate is almost shaped like an H. And what I find, and I think what Hoka was going for, is that this plate functions more as a suspension system than a propulsion system. So if we look at some of the other plates that are in running shoes, they have like a full length plate here, and the idea is that as you step down, there's that plate is going to compress, and then as you come out of your stride, it's going to decompress and create that forward propulsion. It's going to pop forward. With this plate, what we get is much more of just that compression and bouncy sensation. I think of this shoe, and I'm going to date myself a little bit, as like the old big boxy air ride Cadillacs. You could ride in one of those and you felt yourself kind of moving up and down, but you never felt the individual bumps and shakes and potholes and things that were on the road. It was just a smooth, comfortable ride. I think that's what this plate, this suspension system plate, is really providing for us. We have an upper layer of Pebax material that gives us a really nice soft step in, and it gives a really nice bounce to it. So every step feels just really fantastic underfoot. The upper on the shoe is very comfortable. Hoka describes this as a flat knit upper designed to conform to the foot as you're running. If you look, it's a very cushioned, well-structured upper. A lot of cushion here around the heel collar. I love this little feature that Hoka's putting on their shoes. Instead of putting a heel tab that tends to break if you use it regularly, they've just got a nice little, it's almost like a shoehorn built into the shoe. So for me, that's just a really nice feature. I think that makes, putting the shoe on and taking it off really nice. All in all, it's very breathable, it's very comfortable, and I was very pleased with the fit and the feel of the upper and the shoe in general. Runners and walkers, this is a phenomenal daily trainer. I think it's definitely made to take you through your easy runs and recovery runs and your long runs with comfort, and give you a lot of extra fun while you're doing it. I found that when I was testing this shoe, it definitely favors easy running, but it can pick up the pace a little bit. So if you're doing a long run with a workout in between that's taking you into like marathon pacing or just above, I don't think you're going to have an issue there. I think that it's going to perform well for you. I'm not going to really take the shoe out for like a hard interval session. The other thing that I'm going to recommend is that this is a road running shoe only. If you run on a cinder trail, not going to be an issue for you. So I don't want you I don't want to be misconstrued as saying like this can only be done on concrete or asphalt. I think a cinder trail is fine. What I'm saying is that I don't think that this is going to be the best shoe to take off-road into uneven grass or like a uneven trail. The nature of this shoe is to make road running as comfortable as possible, and I think that they've done a really good job of that. I found that when I was running or walking, that base layer of supercritical EVA really gave me a nice supportive system to work within. So I didn't feel that my footstep was uneven as I was in my walking portion of the workouts. And then when I was running, it just, you get that really nice bounce. Obviously there's a little less bounce during the walking portion, but it does have a really nice meta rocker, just like all the other Hoka shoes do. And so everything just feels really nice and smooth, and you do get a little extra pep in your step when you're walking in the shoe. So I think that, for just about any runner, this is going to be a really good choice. One of the things that I did notice just on my first run with the shoe is the same thing that I noticed in some other Hokas. On that very first run, the arch, and I think it's just the way that they cut the insert and it kind of needs to be broken in a little bit, that arch can feel almost a little intrusive into the foot. I noticed it on the very first run, but then I didn't notice it on any other runs. I think that the shoe is very comfortable to wear to work. I'm not sure that if you're sitting or standing all day that you're getting the full benefit of the shoe. I think there are other shoes that might be better to wear to work, like the Bondi 8 or the Clifton 9. Because I think that the magic of this shoe is that compression of the plate and the decompression. So you get that suspension feel. I think when you're just standing still, it honestly feels like, other shoes that you can get for a lower price point than that $225 price point. So for work, while it looks good and it feels good, if it's your vibe, go for it. But I don't think that it's a shoe that I would necessarily recommend to somebody who's just looking for a work shoe. All right, if you have any questions, drop those in the comments section. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future comment. And we'll see you out there. Be safe and keep moving forward. Bye.